Hello everyone, just a quick hello from my desk here, and I thought I'd just pop on quickly and share with you what arrived in the post today. It arrived wrapped in this paper with string around it, and it's from Dark Forest, who sells on Etsy, and it's come all the way from the Ukraine in this lovely box. As you can see here, this gorgeous box, wooden box, the drawer. It all sort of sticks together almost like a Lego sort of thing, jigsaw I should say. When you first get it, because it gets banged about in the post, it might just need a little, little pressing like that together to click it all back into place. And inside, in this yellow box, was an RWS deck that is beautiful. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole deck with you because we all know what the RWS looks like. I just thought I'd show you a couple of the cards because of the colouring. It's absolutely stunning, and it looks like an antique deck, and it really is something. This actually meets everything I've always wanted in a tarot deck, because I love old looking cards, and of course to find an old deck now, they're either ridiculously expensive, or they're very so worn that you're not quite sure, about them. They could be quite sticky and tacky. A couple that I've come across. So these have been made to look ancient, and there's something that I am going to definitely be reading with. I love this sort of saturation of the colour. I love that sort of leathery tan look, and the burnt sort of umber edges, and the card quality is really quite strong. It feels thin. However, when you bend it, when you sort of manipulate it, it feels very strong. It feels quite sturdy. It's certainly not a deal breaker that it feels thin. It doesn't feel as thin as some of the mass marketed decks that you get with that sort of gloss on it, and they can feel quite thin indeed. This still has a bit of meat to it. It's great for hand over hand shuffling, or it's none of the cards stick together. It goes from one hand to the other really nicely and smoothly. It is a little more difficult to riffle, and the reason being that it is quite slippy. As you can see, they fan beautifully. You can hold them in your hand and they just fan really beautifully. If you look at that, they go from one hand to the other, they just slide across, no problem. And that's one of the reasons they're a little more difficult to riffle shuffle, is because they slide off each other very easily. They have like a tan sort of a burnished edge. Okay, it looks like they've been made out of a card that's been created. The card is sort of a bit like the brown paper that we used to wrap our school books in when we were kids. It's that sort of colour, and it's just really nice. It's beautiful, but it's one I'm definitely going to be reading with. It's one that I would use at times such as Halloween. I would use it if I'm doing fairs, and the sort of it has that eeriness of the old-fashioned fortune teller that you'd go to. So for things like fairs and charity events and Halloween is what I would use this for, and sometimes for to add an atmosphere. And if you're doing readings, sometimes you get bookings where you're reading in people's homes and they like to have an atmosphere, and that's another time I would use something like this, because it actually has an atmospheric, an mysterious atmosphere of it. It really does. It's lovely. It's beautiful. So yes, it is something that I'm going to treasure this, because it is in its own right absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to give it another go at riffle shuffling, but it does slide all over the place. It doesn't slide as much as the Neo Rider metallic kind. But you see, when you come to bridge it, it sort of slides down too quickly. So if you're going to, you can sort of riffle and push together as opposed to riffle and bend. But yeah, it's an RWS deck that's made to look antique, and you'll find it on Darkforest's shop on Etsy. So I just thought I'd share that with you and let you know that there is something out there that does scratch that antique looking itch, if that's what you're looking for. So folks, I shall love you and leave you, and have a lovely evening. Take care and see you soon.